Hello, I'm Gus Downing, and today we're in Los Angeles, and we're going to be attending the Los Angeles Area Organized Retail Crime Conference. And with us today is WG Security Products, Graham Handyside, the Senior Vice President of Global Operations, and Ed Wolfe, the Vice President of Business Development. Thanks for coming, gentlemen.
Thank you, Gus. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Graham, can you tell us a little bit about your company, the history, and how long you've been in business and some of the products that you offer to the LP community?
Happy to. WG is a little over 15 years old. I've joined the company 15 years ago and very excited about everything that the company has to offer and for the future. One of the things that sets WG apart from our competitors is the fact that WG is a turnkey solution provider. From the beginning stage of design, industrial design, through the research and development, through the manufacturing and sales and service.
What about your organizational structure? I mean, what does that look like from a national standpoint?
WG is part of a group of companies in various different industries, from finance to design, software development, and bringing all of these groups together has allowed WG to be the most innovative, high technology ES company in the world.
Mm-hmm. Graham, can you tell us about some of your success stories, some of the products and rollouts that WG has been involved in?
Yes. One of the success stories that we're very proud to talk about actually was the development and the invention of the 58 kilohertz ferrite rod. We use it in all of our products today, as does a lot of other companies use it in their tags and a variety of different accessories. And in fact, it's actually become the industry standard worldwide. So that is on the ferrite side. But something that we're extremely proud of, how the world is changing and everyone's looking to go green. Well, just under 6 years ago, we opened up a whole new world of recycling EAS tags. And this has now been going on for 5 years. And we're in our 6 year, excuse me. And this is taking the world by storm.
The green tag program.
The green tag program. Mm-hmm. And we started off in some specialty stores, and it's grown into some larger companies, larger retailers. Mm-hmm. And as we continue to develop and the integration of web-based sales, ordering process is a very fast to market program. And what gives us an advantage is we have warehousing in the US and our manufacturing facilities in China, whereas we know today most of the garments are produced overseas in Asia, whether it be Hong Kong, China, Vietnam, Taiwan, different places like that. And because we have a large operation overseas, we're able to get the tags back, get them back to the vendors, they put them back on the clothes, and it turns back around.
So the green tag recycling program, which you've been managing for the last 6 years, has been successful for you?
Tremendously successful. Not only has it been successful in the way that it operates, but it's been a great success in keeping to the green side of what our company is trying to do.
Mm-hmm. What's the benefit for the retailer?
The benefit for the retailer is that they have the integrity of a hard tag, mm-hmm. and not a lower quality tag that's used in other programs. So you have the integrity of a solid tag. The customer, the retailer, loss prevention doesn't have to pay for this tag. Mm-hmm. The cost of the tag is passed on to the vendor. Mm-hmm. It may or may not be added on to the garment that is sold back, but the loss prevention department gets to keep that money and use it for other programs they want to have within their industry.
So that's the definition of recycling, is
yes.
by passing on the price to the vendor themselves.
That's correct.
In a tough economy and such, is that a little more difficult to do now?
No, actually, it's growing more and more, mm-hmm. because the tags are leased. WG provide millions and millions of tags. The customer doesn't pay for these tags, they pay on a per use basis. Mm-hmm. So they are able to keep their budgets low. WG absorbs all the upfront costs, And as the program evolves and continues around, that's where the retailer adds different programs, get more benefit from from various different security aspects, whether it be cameras, RFID, EAS, or a combination of them all.
But this gives the retailer, NWG, the opportunity to continue working together in a relationship and pass the tags through the cycle back to the store.
That's correct. Yes, we work, we supply all the boxes, we supply everything. It's really an easy 1, 2, 3 step. The tags are put onto the garments at the point of manufacturing. They're shipped over to the DC. From the DC, it goes to the store. They're floor ready, which means they're able to turn them quicker.
And saving a payroll dollar in the store.
Saving the payroll. There's no applying the tag in the store. Speed to floor. So if you trying to meet your spring collection, you don't want them sitting in the back of your office. You want them on the floor so your salespeople can sell.
Right.
And you don't want your salespeople tagging garments. You want them selling.
So you've seen a lot of vendors willing and open to this concept?
More and more.
That's a fantastic program, quite frankly.
Yeah, we're very excited, and as it continues to grow, we see that this is the future in the EAS tagging world.
And the retailers are seeing a significant savings as a result of this.
Yes, significant savings, as much as 30 base points.
And Ed, you've talked about the fact that it's been your experience that you haven't seen that cost passed on to the retailer from the vendor perspective. I mean, it hasn't had an impact on the increased cost.
Actually,
from the manufacturing piece.
Yeah, the only discussion about cost is when the buyer talks to the manufacturer about this process, and then when the manufacturer decides to provide that added value service to the retailer. As recent as one of our customers in the last few months, 48% of the manufacturers talked about charging back the cost of the tag. To date, not one of them have charged back an item. It becomes part of the unit cost of the product, the dress or the shirt, and the retailer does not see that cost.
Could you share with us the unit cost, I mean, that the vendor is facing when they enter into a green cycle or a green tag program?
Well, we found, and myself talking to vendors themselves, if the cost of this tag is less than or equal to 1 basis point of the manufacturing cost, then in their opinion, it's an added value they can provide. So depending upon what that cost is, you can keep it at 1 basis point of the manufacturing cost, and then it's a win.
So you've had a lot of success with this. The vendors are buying off on it. The retailers are saving money, and you are able to maintain control of the quality of the tags going through the process.
That's correct.
And you're delivering them to the stores already tagged, which means the stores save payroll dollars as well.
That is correct,
Making
yes.
it easier.
Yeah, the big issue for the retailer is saving the payroll dollars. Saving the payroll dollars of having a salesperson, as Graham had said, they should be selling and not tagging. It comes in the back door with the tag on it. It goes straight to the selling floor. It's floor ready. This is the last of the floor ready initiative that was started years ago when we started doing hangers that were the same in the industry. So this is the last of that element, and it gets it right to the floor very quickly.
And if I'm correct, you have a few retailers that have re-signed up for the program. So they're actually in their second set of contracts, so to speak, of using this process.
That's correct, for another 5 years.
Right.
Our contracts generally run 5 years because there's a lot of front end energy that goes into putting the program together, getting all the logistics set up, and that takes some time, and then it runs smoothly. And actually 5 years goes by really, really quick.
It does.
Yeah.
Particularly when you're saving money.
Yeah.
Well, and which brings me to another question. How long does it take a retailer to set that up? From the minute they say go to the minute you have that company, set up in the recycling program, tags moving, their goods are protected. How long does it take?
It depends on the type of merchandise. If it's for jewelry, for example, you can do it as quickly as 6 weeks because the manufacturer touches every piece of jewelry and they can apply the tag. If it's a longer term production blouse or sweater, then of course it takes maybe as many as 9 months to do that. So it's less than a year from the very beginning of the outset, but again, time goes by very quickly.
You know, over the last year, WG has certainly come on kind of strong in the market. You guys have done a great job with that. You know, how was 2011 and what do you see 2012 being like? Any predictions, any comments there about that?
Yeah, 2011 was actually a great year for us. Sorry to say not for everyone, but we had a very good time. And one of the things that sets us apart from our competition and the way that we look at doing things is we want to give the customer the latest technology, the latest of everything. And we've done that with our pedestals. We were the ones that developed a 58 kilohertz loop system over 10 years ago, and that revolutionized everything because that wasn't available many years ago. So with our products, it's helped us get into the doors, but also bringing on Ed Wolfe has been a big game changer for us. With his many years of experience on the LP, he's educated us. What are the customers really looking for? What do they want? How can we help them? So that changed our approach. So I would say one of the big advantages and what's really helped us through 2011 was to bring on Ed Wolfe and to open up a lot of doors and use his knowledge.
And that brings me to Ed.
Yeah.
You know, Ed, you have 30 years of senior leadership experience in the retail industry. You know, you've crossed over to the dark side, so to speak, the vendor community. As everybody,
It's actually brighter than you think.
I don't know, I've been here a long time.
Yeah.
So.
I still say it's brighter than you think.
And I made the crossover as well, but it was a little longer. But how has it been for you? I mean, how have you been able to assimilate your loss prevention experience, your leadership abilities, your knowledge of retail loss prevention? How have you been able to assimilate that in the vendor community and with WG in bringing them to the LP community, so to speak?
Well, let me give you an example. As a manufacturer of EAS products, WG, when I first came to WG, they thought it was all about, or we thought it was all about, you know, making a good product that was competitive, but also had competitive advantages to it, and that I think my contemporaries at that time take that for granted. What they want to see is good service. They want to see low-cost service. They want to make sure that they take for granted the fact that the system works and it works well. The key issue is take the pain away from me as the person running an organization who has to keep up with all the service issues. So we have taken great strides in identifying that as an element that we need to, that all companies need to improve, and we've certainly made that improvement. The other thing is really talking about retail inventory shortage with our salespeople, recognizing that it's not about the sale, it's about reducing inventory shortage. It's not about how many tags you can sell, it's about how many items you can protect. When you take that different approach, then what you do is you sell the customer what they need versus what you have to sell. And if the people watching this session can think back on the times when a vendor has come to them and sold them what they had instead of what they needed, they take a little chuckle about that, because it happened to me, obviously.
Certainly. Ed, I mean, how has your team assimilated? I mean, you've come over from the loss prevention side. You're teaching salesmen, loss prevention, shrinkage, retail, how to be cost effective, how to approach that retailer with their solutions, in a cost-effective basis. I mean, how have they taken to that? And based on where you started and where you are now, how has the progress been?
It's been great. The key issue is when you're talking with a salesperson about the industry he's selling to or she's selling to, It's like a light bulb goes off when you see them get it. And then they're much more confident in talking to their customer because they can talk the language with them. So often when vendors would come and talk with me, they would make some kind of outrageous ROI predictions, and you'd look at them and say, well, you don't really know what you're doing. In this case, we can bridge that gap, and I think it's been very well appreciated.
So they've progressed nicely then over the last couple of years.
Absolutely.